Hello, Z Automotive Reviews. How Ford will prevent water from entering the rear Bronco AC vents? Now, that is a dilemma. Now, if you have moisture getting inside of the vents, that's not good. Because what it does is smells up the interior, and it causes mold, and it's not a good thing. Now, Ford reported on why it decided to place the AC vents in the 2021 Bronco in the floor rather than in the rear seat console, where most vehicles have them. The automaker reason boiled down to packaging restraints, which is understandable. However, we could help but wonder if the rear Bronco AC vent location will cause a problem for owners looking to hose out their rides after a day on the trails. But it seems like Ford was thinking the same thing when it designed the Bronco. This is what makes the Bronco phenomenal, is because the engineers thought about what they were doing. They thought about you washing down and cleaning out the mud out of your car and the rocks and the debris and not getting them into the vents. And so therefore they put the vents into the floor. That's just straight up amazing, folks. Let's go to this. Now we have a drain provision around the under AC vents. And basically we mine where the end of them are elevation wise. Now, Eric Loeffler, Bronco chief engineer, told Ford Authority executive editor Alex Luft in a recent interview, keep in mind, if you have the washout interior, you have 4 active plugs, but you also have 6 passive plugs. No matter if you have the carpet or the washout interior, the active plugs in the Bronco are user enabled, while the passive plugs are always open and ready to drain. So even if owners forget to remove the active plugs before hosing down the inside, water will still drain out of the passive plugs and prevent it from entering the floor-mounted Bronco AC vents. That's straight up awesome, folks. Look at this picture right here. You have the no AC vents in the center console. And you have the AC vents under the front seat, which you can't really see from this angle. But that's where it is, folks. Right under here, under the front seat. No AC vents, period. Now, this is the good news for Bronco buyers, of course. Now, the only question left to ask pertains to these vents' cooling capabilities. While rear console mounted vents blow air horizontally toward rear seat passengers, floor mounted vents must blow air upward. And it's worth wondering if passengers will have to sit a certain way to avoid blocking the airflow. It makes you go, Now, for now, we'll just have to wait until Bronco deliveries begin to find out which are on track to start. It's supposed to be starting in June. It was going to start in the spring, but they moved it back because of the top. Now, in the meantime, the first 2 pre-production Broncos have already been built in Ford Michigan assembly plant. And quite honestly, it looks quite awesome, folks. Now, the 2021 Ford Bronco, I mean, they thought about these, this SUV and how they made it. You can see the drain plug from here. You can see no step. They just want you to know, don't step on this. And you can see that the vents were going to be here, but to stop moisture and stuff from getting inside when you wash out your interior. And then they have it placed where the vents where water won't get to it. They really thought this out, folks. This orange is just phenomenal, folks. No AC vents in the center console, AC vents under the front seats. This is just amazing. The 2021 Bronco is in full of effect, folks. The 2-door, 4-door, mid-size SUV is back on the Ford T6 platform, shared with the Ford Ranger, built in the Michigan assembly plant in Wayne, Michigan. This is straight up awesome, folks. An American-made SUV, finally. It's coming our way with the Ford 10-speed automatic and the Get Drag 6MT 1550 6-speed manual. 4-wheel drive, standard, and it is just straight up awesome. Straight up awesome. Main competitors, I mean, actually the Bronco is in a league of his own. It don't appear to be as though, I mean, if a person's a Jeep fan, they're going to stay a Jeep fan. If you're a Bronco fan, you're going to stay a Bronco fan. And for me, I like both of them, but particularly the Bronco. Nothing like it, folks. Nothing like it. Price starting at $30,000. And that's just for the base model. And then goes on up. And you can get whatever you desire. You have such a huge choice of accessories. 200 plus, folks. Which is straight up awesome and straight up fantastic. All the different packages you have. So whatever your liking is, you can get your Bronco built the way you like it, which is just straight up awesome, folks. The latest technology and everything else, just even the build quality of it, it just looks awesome right now. I mean, what I've seen so far and what you can see just with the eye, it just, you know, it looks like it's going to be one solid vehicle. But until it's in our hands, until people had experiences with it, and, you know, it's definitely going to come out to see what it's really about. Now, the airflow, it seems like the engineers have made everything and thought about, you know, the air coming up. I'm sure it's going to be able to, you know, to come right up at the passenger. You won't have to lean out the way. I'm sure they thought about this and they put everything in its proper place so that the airflow will run really nice. That'll run upward and you won't have to, you know, finagle your body to avoid blocking the airflow. Won't happen like that. You won't think about that. I don't know if you can remember back in the day when cars did not have the vents in the back seat, and there was no problem. Nobody really complained. I mean, we just have our air. The AC was kicking from the front, and the center vents was basically kicking the air into the back. But Ford has made up for it by putting the vents underneath the seat, and I don't think it's going to be really missed. I mean, it just appears as though it's in our best interest, and Ford has really went out of the way to put things in the proper place. They had drains provisions around and under the seat AC vents, and basically, as far as elevation wise, Eric Leffler, Bronco chief engineer, told Ford Authority executive Alex Luft, if you have the washout interior, you have 4 active plugs, but you also have 6 passive plugs, no matter if you have the carpet or the washout interior. The active plugs in the Ford Bronco are user enabled, while the passive plugs are always open and ready to drain, and you have to have it like that. So if you ever leave the top off and it starts raining, the torrential rains, it's going to come down those drains and it's going to drain it just right. I talked about this before in the past video, but this is the answer as far as leaving your top off and it starts to rain, and suppose you're sleeping and you're chilling and you're, staying warm and comfy, and it just starts raining like crazy, you don't have to worry that your Bronco is going to be able to drain all that water out. And just remember to keep them drains clean, and take care of your Bronco. This is Automotive Reviews. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for coming by, guys. Much love.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.